So here we are at meditation with Nellie. 123rd
She said, who is that?
This is her son-in-law, Kermit. Grandson, Kermit.
I mean, it's still kind of by blood. Atia said, who is that? My grandma's
Your dad is brother or dad.
Is that Michelle?
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
In some weird way.
It's crazy.
About this one, I'm City Council Member Diana Ayala, but I consider myself one of Miss McKay's little babies. And I actually, this is my last few months in office, and before I left, I said we have to do this for Miss Nellie, because she was a force within herself, and I met her many years ago, and I was just sharing a couple of stories about her. You all know she was a little spicy, and I remember when we were working. Pat, do you remember when Miss McKay come here, Pat? So Miss McKay was not the president of Patterson Houses, but she thought she was the president of Patterson Houses. and we let her be the president of Patterson Houses because we were scared of her. But she called this meeting in the office with all of NYCHA, and they all came, about the ramps, remember? She was very, adamant that the ramps go up because people in the development didn't have any, they had mobility impairment issues, were not able to get, easily in and out of their buildings. And so she called this meeting, and I remember it was the first time I sat with her at a meeting, and she had like all of this food laid out that she made herself. Because she, in my family, right, my mother would always say, when people come over, you have food and you receive them that way, and that was part of her culture, and she did that with everybody. So everybody had, some Miss McKay Jello, or, cookies and cakes, and she always had, just the best spirit. She was a mother, she was a matriarch. And so then she was finally able to get the ramps up. How she did it, I have no idea, because if you know NYCHA, you know Capitol, us in government, we know it takes years, but she was very persistent to be nice, and she was able to get those ramps up. And so we went and she had a whole ribbon cutting event. I don't know if were you there, Vanessa? I don't remember if you were there, but there were a couple of elected officials there. But she had a whole event and invited the whole building, and it was just very sweet. But Ms. McKay gave a lot to this community, and I think it was only fair that we recognize her in this way, because this is one of the little perks that we have in government, is to be able to memorialize for us. And we're hoping at some point, Councilmember Gail Brewer had introduced us at some point, the idea of putting something that you can kind of scan, and then it will give you the story of that person, because oftentimes we walk by the streets and we're like, who is that? We don't know who it is, but we want to make sure that people understand why it's important to capture, the history of the community in this way. And so I'm really proud to be able to have gotten this done before I left, and I just want to, I wanted to share the spotlight with, my colleagues in government who all loved her as well. Vanessa?
Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon, family. Thank you, community. Thank you to our Deputy Speaker, Diana Ayala, as she ends this incredible term in the City Council as our Deputy Speaker. I just want to acknowledge all of your great work and your fight, your fierceness, your determination in making sure we lift up the residents and families of the South Bronx and El Barrio. You have been an incredible leader for such a time as this, and while I know that you may close one door, I know that an even bigger door will open for you. So thank you. Thank you. Yes, we're praying on it. And being here with my colleagues in government, with our state senator Jose Marcos Serrano, who will tell his story about his experiences and his life with Nellie McKay, and our incoming city council member for this district, Elsie Encarnacion. Thank you for being here. And really, community, Ms. Pat, Anthony Jordan from the community board, we're all here together because we all have a Nellie McKay story. Right? We all got one, and And you know, I can say too, as one of her adopted daughters, Nellie always called when she needed something. She always told me about her life and just raising so many of her children, the community's children, everybody's children. When she launched her book, right, and just talked about her story. She was a powerful woman, a woman, as I know, that was raised in a working class family, right, with values and with ideas that shaped who she was and who she became as a woman, as a community leader, and really leading her residents and speaking truth to power. We rename streets after people that deserve it. People who are worthy to be celebrated, they are worthy to be honored and acknowledged, and Nellie McKay was that person. I was very proud to continue to keep her as a member of Bronx Community Board 1. And I remember saying at some point, like, Miss Nellie, are you sure? You know, I love my teenagers, I love the older adults, but, you know, attendance is important. I need you to show up every month. You know, sometimes you don't always get acclimated to the remote, you know, calls and things. And Nellie said, no, I'm still going. I'm okay. Miss Gibson, I got it. And I said, okay, no problem. I'll keep you on Community Board 1. But she was just that type of person. And I experienced so many conversations with her, coming to Patterson, talking to her in Mount Haven about the work that we're doing, the work I'm doing as borough president, getting her support. She always loved to tell the story of the instrumental role that she played in the election of Congressman Jose Serrano. And Senator Serrano will tell you that story, but she always, you know, had so many stories, and that's the type of wisdom, right, that you get with age, with life, and with experience. They don't make women like Nellie McKay anymore, right? But I think that we all carry on her legacy in some way, and this street cone naming will symbolize that. Through this street sign here on 3rd Avenue, it will remember her life, her legacy, her story, the fact that her journey mattered, her experiences mattered. They taught us who to be as leaders and parents and community people, right? And so I appreciate that. I celebrate her life with all of you. I am so proud to be borough president because I know that there was a Nellie McKay who served, who led, who stood up, who walked the walk when others sat down, right? And so we are a living testament of her work and her life. And that is why this street cone naming is so important. So I join with all of you, with family, community, all of her children, all of her babies, and saying thank you. Thank you for sharing Nellie McKay with all of us. We are a better community in the South Bronx because of her life, because of her legacy, and because of her labor of love. She loved her people, she loved her community, she loved cooking, she loved feeding us with nourishment, right? And she loved being exactly who God wanted her to be. And so it is my honor to be here with our Deputy Speaker, with elected officials, with community, in unveiling this sign so that here on 3rd Avenue, the sign and the life of Nellie McKay will last for generations to come. And I love that idea, Diana, that the idea of making sure that all the street cone naming signs have a bio so that you know who each of these pioneers are is a great idea. And I would love to work with our incoming council member on that, because that's something that we're doing with the Bronx Walk of Fame that's on the concourse. We are digitizing it so that you have a QR code and you'll be able to just go to the QR code and look up and see who that person is. Nellie McKay deserves it, and she's worthy of that. So let us celebrate her life and recognize all that she has done, and to her family, thank you, and may her life and legacy transcend for generations to come. We love you, Nellie. We love you, Nellie. I'll give it up with this. State Senator Jose Serrano. I call him Marco.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Madam Borough President, Madam Deputy Speaker, Council Member. Thank you so much for this wonderful event. It really is so fitting. And before I begin talking about how I feel about Miss McKay, I want to say one thing about these two extraordinary women here to my right. I literally stand on their shoulders because they've been so kind to me over the years. I think about my son, who's now an adult, a sophomore in college, and I have so many photos of them of him as a baby with the two of them. Okay, when you broke your leg and he signed your cast. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to bring up painful. No, God forbid. And we would be at events in East Harlem, and The two of you are sort of the epitome of leadership. And anything that you do, I think, is so important. And I'm grateful for how you've embraced me over the years, and looking forward to working with Elsie for many more years to come. When we think about Miss McKay, I think about something that my father always told me about her. Now, as you know, my dad, he's going to be 82 next month. He's suffering from a very difficult disease, Parkinson's disease, which many of you know. It's on the rise, but it's so debilitating. So he is really going through it. It's advancing. But I spoke to him yesterday, and I was like, you know, guess what? Guess what I'm going to do tomorrow? There's going to be a street renaming for Miss McKay. And he said, my queen. He said in 1974 or 5, maybe 1974, when he was a candidate for the state assembly. And you know, he was new. I mean, this was, you know, he was a very young guy, and he was new, and he was trying to build a coalition in a very stratified Bronx, right? And he knocked on a door right here, and who opens the door but Miss McKay? And she welcomed him in, and she spoke to him, and she told him about what the needs were in this community. See, my dad grew up in Millbrook houses, but that doesn't mean he understands Patterson houses. He needed to hear all of this. But the most important lesson that he learned from his relationship with Miss McKay was the power of coalition building, and why people of like mind working together is the most powerful thing you can have in our community. And she nurtured him, and she gave him tips on the right suits to wear, and she fed him. Now, fast forward a number of years later, 25 years ago when I ran for office, Miss McKay welcomed me in and would give me an earful every time we spoke about what the needs were in our community. And she would call me up after I was elected, and she would say, Serrano, I need you to come to a meeting I'm gonna have in the community room. And I get there, and I thought I was in a restaurant because there was food everywhere. And I was like, oh, this is good because I like to eat. But she understood that there was this holistic approach between mind and body, and that if you feed the mind, you have to feed the body healthy things. So she had a Jell-O mold that was shaped like a fish. And I learned a really exquisite way to have canned salmon in a Jell-O mold. And it was in the shape of a fish on the plate, and I thought it was the most ingenious thing. So now my kids eat that now. But it was just such a fun way, and she always had that sense of humor. But she was a fighter, but she did it in a way that didn't alienate anybody. So that spirit must live on. And when people look at this sign, and they see this, and they see what we're standing for, they will know that if you're going to do anything in the South Bronx, anything in this community, you have to be a bridge builder to get it done right. So thank you, Ms. McKay, from the bottom of my heart for everything. We love you.
Did anybody in the family want to say anything?
Does anybody want to say anything?
Well, thank you, family.
So let me speak first. I want to say thank God for making a gorgeous day today.
Yes.
The weather is perfect. The weather's perfect. I want to thank Councilwoman Ayala for pushing this through, because for regular people to get a sign put up takes years, from what I was told. But we all know my grandmother was not a regular person. We know that. I want to thank
Vanessa Gibson.
And Marco Serrano.
Jose Serrano.
Yeah, no, I want to call you up, but I know. I want to thank Mr. Anthony, who is president of District Manager of Planning Board 1. I want to acknowledge my family members. So this is Miss McKay's son, right here, Wally. Then we have my brother Damien, his wife, right here. Their 2 sons. Where's the other one? Where's Dylan? Okay. Over here. We have his nephew. Nephew John, just right here. My Uncle Kermit right here. Hey, Uncle. We got 2645 in the building. 2645. We have great grandkids. We have great grandchildren and 7 granddaughter, Alasia right here. Who else? friends, family, Kermit, little Kermit. Little Kermit and it's a big Kermit. And Michelle, who else is here? Friends, family, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I came from North Carolina to be here. So I'm very grateful, I'm very pleased. And this is amazing right here. I wanted this done when she was 90, but they said the person has to pass away, just in case they have any scandals. So my grandmother does not have any scandals. That we know of. That we know of. But the sun is already up. It's not for them. It's not for them. So anybody else wants to speak? Can I go? Yes, you can. Tell them who you are. Tell them who you are, Katie.
My name is Kaylee Dingle, and I am one of her, she's got a lot, grandkids and I'm one of her great-grandchildren. I apologize because what I wrote is on my phone, but that's the best way for me to be able to get it across. We've already said good afternoon, but I'm going to say it again. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. What an honor that we all get to be here together today. In the community that my great-grandmother, Nellie McKay, lived in, served, loved, and devoted many of her years to. Now, as amazing as it is that we're here, this should not be labeled a coincidence nor an act of luck. This was earned through hard work, dedication, sacrifice, advocacy, intellect, and perseverance. Whether it was going door to door to get signatures, teaching Black history to anyone who would listen, or serving as a state committee woman for the Bronx for 2 decades, this cannot be more deserved. From the foreword of her book, like a tree planted by the waters, Miss Nellie McKay shall not be moved.
Take your time.
And that sentiment is more true now than ever. May she always be remembered as a mother, wife, grandmother, great-grandmother, aunt, author, seamstress, cook, provider, caretaker, student, teacher, advocate, New York State committee woman, badass, world changer, beautiful, down-to-earth Black woman. Yes. Let her story and legacy and the incredible Nellie McKay way stand as a testament that despite adversity, distance, resistance, racism, every girl, every Black girl, every person can be, do, and achieve every single thing they set their mind to. To end, I'd like to quote her book once again. She wrote, "I will challenge anyone who doubts the power of one's individual ability to change their community and better the lives of those around them. With that being said, there is not a time more important than right now to follow in her footsteps, to protect democracy, to vote, and to take care of one another. Our lives and futures depend on it." Thank you.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Yes.
You can't top that now.
I want an autograph.
I'm sorry.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody. Family, friends, my boys, Colin, Keith, got his family with him. We grew up and went through a lot together in this project. But my mother, when I was young, I didn't understand a lot of stuff she was saying. Because, you know, when you're young, you think you got that S in your chest, but you ain't know mom's kryptonite. So, as I got older, I understood. Her thing was education was the key. Because it was like, the more you know, the further you go. And she drilled that into everybody in the family. Get your education. Get your education. So, that's what we did. We got our education. But she was a true person. She pulled no punches. She gave it to you straight, rugged, and raw. And that's how I raised my son here. My kid, all my kids died. Listen, I ain't pulling no punches. You catching this right hook and you're going to understand this is life. It's hard. There's no game to it. You know, there's rules and they change it every day, but you just got to keep up with it. The bottom line is this, you know, I'm honored for this. This is like mind-blowing. And, you know, they say give them their flowers, you know, when they're alive, but hey, there's a whole bed of roses for her. You know, I always loved my mom. Growing up, I just called her Nellie. Nellie, what's happening? Are you making pancakes from scratch this morning? Because that's what I want for breakfast. But she taught me to work hard and live an honest life. She said, if you got to scrub toilets with a toothbrush to make an honest living, that's what you're going to do.
Yes, sir.
So that stayed in my head. So, and that's what I did. I mean, I went through my rugged times with her, but I smoothed it out. So I was there for her, you know, at her last moments on earth. And the last thing I said to her was, because when I was younger, I used to always rub her head. I rubbed her head and I said, hang in there. It's going to be all right. So I appreciate y'all for coming. Thank you. And I'm honored for this.
I also want to thank Miss Pat. I forgot to thank Miss Pat. Miss Pat. Come on, Miss Pat.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I just got finished giving out fresh produce to the community. That was something that Miss McKay used to do also. And as the TA president, my encounter with Miss McKay, we had our good days and we had our argumental days. One thing about her is if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, she's going to get on you. And she will stay on you until you do the right thing. She used to, I met her when his father was running for office. And she got me to go door knocking on all doors. When I came back, I was tired. I was exhausted, right? I just wanted to sit down. She said, no, darling, it ain't over yet. You have a couple more buildings to go to. I said, Miss McKay, can I just, no, let's get it over with. Once it's done, it's done. So we had to go out, me and Bernice. We had to go out. We went through this whole development. After that, right? I said, well, God, I'm not going to work with her no more. She's too hard, right? So then I got on board with the president at the time. And Miss McKay, she was throwing her orders there also, right? Then when I became TA president, she sat me down, we started talking, right? So she said, listen, I want you to do this, I want you to do this way, I want you to do this that way. I said, well, Miss McKay, I said, I'm just coming in. I have my own ideas, you know. Can I, like, you know, do what I want to do? She said, I'm trying to teach you something, young lady. After that, you know, I mean, and then if I, like I said, if I did something wrong and I didn't listen to her, she was at the management office. She was reporting me. She was at your office, right? She was at your office, right? So you had to do what you were supposed to do when you was working with Nellie. But she was a beautiful woman. She did teach you a lot. She was into her Black history.
Yes.
And I love that. You know, she made sure that you knew your history and you taught your history. And till this day, history is my big thing. I go all out in Patterson and everywhere else for my Black history. That was from Miss Finelli. We thank you, Diana. We thank you for this. Vanessa Gibson, we thank you for this. Serrano, we thank you all. Diana is a pillow in this community. She has done a lot of wonderful and beautiful things, and I'm gonna hate to see you go.
I'm gonna try not to disappear, but
yes, please don't.
As you can see, right, even the elected officials become a pillar, become a fabric of the family, the extended family that is Patterson and Mitchell and, you know, Mount Haven, and we love this community like from the bottom of our heart. So with that, we're gonna get to the portion where we're gonna unveil, and then we have two ceremonial things right after where we give the family their plaque, and you can also order through the Department of Transportation. You can order free, well, not free, $30 free fee, but you can order your own replica of the sign yourself. And then Vanessa has a calculation that she'd like to give, but we need 2 or 3 tall people to hold us that way. We need somebody first to climb up here. That's why the young people are. It's not gonna be me. We don't make these phones like we
The tape is right there on the other side. Right there. Yep, there you go. Keep going.
Make sure that we do it.
Yeah, they put it up really tight.
I do, but it's in the car.
No, I know. I have a iPad.
It goes up like 4.
Pull it right there. Pull this that part. There you go.
Don't pull it hard yet.
Don't pull it. Don't. Yep, this is the string drop.
Loosen the string.
I knew you were going to say that. Oh, God, she's never going to let that go.
Don't pull on it hard. Loosen it. Don't blow it before it's tight.
I'm not going to touch it, Dave. Else we are. Never let that go.
Yeah, it's right here.
Are you too close with him?
No.
How you get here? You drove?
What?
You drove here?
Right there.
You know we going to City
Cadillac's
Island.
in the seat.
We going to City Island after this.
There you go. The string drop.
I'll talk to you in a minute.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay, here you go, family. I don't want to touch the string.
Family, step up, grandchildren.
They're gonna probably have to go. Daddy.
Family, come up and grab a piece of the string.
Everybody, come on.
Okay, they gotta pull that way.
Which way?
Up, use my back.
Yeah. And then slide. Don't pull it up down. Pull it down.
Yeah. Slide it
We're
straight.
going to do a countdown, so we're going to tell you what to do, okay? Ready?
Get your phones ready. Oh, yeah, just videotape, please.
Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready.
Got their phones ready?
Yeah.
Okay, see?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dedication for Nellie and McKay.
New address, East 142nd and Nellie McKay Way. Nellie McKay Way.
All right, come.
Family, come and get the plaque. Stay right here. We're going to give a plaque out. Yes. Plaque right here in front of you. Let's see what it says.
Get it still recording?
There you go. There it is. Family, stop taking a picture of the plaque.
Oh, you send it to me?
Yeah, I'll make sure I get it.
Thank you.
It's mine. I'm coming.
That's the joke.
I didn't want to pay for delivery charges. I said I'm going to pay.
Make sure it's in frame and come over.
Dylan.
We're going to be seen.
Oh my God, that's not done.
If we're not in it, I can squat.
Is everybody in the picture? Y'all want to move up? You see everyone?
I see everyone.
Got it? Sorry, I'm sending you in. Good.
Are you guys in? Michelle, you in? I think so. Cordelia, why you didn't come?
Yes, he's going to do more pictures.
You can take more.
We good?
Bring it in.
I'm
Yeah, come on in on the side.
I'll take that there.
So click the camera. Once you got it.
Mr. Anthony, go ahead. Look at this side.
Hold it, hold it.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Great job.
In January, yes.
Thank you for sharing.
You don't stay on the sidelines. No more hunting. Even if you wanted to, they wouldn't let you. You want to have it? Yeah, of course.
There you go. This is for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. While we're all here, I just want to share a quick story. My name is Alicia, and I am the daughter-in-law of Nellie McKay. And I remember coming to this apartment in Patterson, and Mrs. McKay has spent 5 years, 6 years researching some money that was missing, that was supposed to be for elevators and for the community. And everybody thought she was nuts. It was in the paper, and she got down to the bottom of it. She cared about her community and her family. So,
Thank you.
she lived a good life, and she lived it the way she wanted to. Okay, me and Councilwoman Osmond, take a picture.
I appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Baby.
Why you want to give me
And I want to thank you. And I'm answering for permission, but this is not my thing. This is yours, and I know your
It's
feelings.
everybody. No. This is everybody. This is the community. This is the community.
And that's how I feel.
And we on a public street. You can do what
But I'm
your
answering because was mama, and I grew up here. Dear mama, probably 3 o'clock.
I'm more saying 3 o'clock. I know you probably
Grew up here in Siege. And your mom, they got my son covered, but that's okay. I know you love it. Those diapers was with me. But I know how it feels to be there.
Add on to this.
Way to work that I've done speaks for me.
That's my mother.
You don't want to get in there?
You know how to read.
Right.
Oh,
Actually, right now, I'm driving from Westway. I decided to want to make a career.
Yeah.